All right, and we're back with the program. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here at the Pop Culture Cosmos. I've got an awesome guest on right now, and I'll tell you what, this guy over the past decade has done a lot of great work. And if you won't get a chance, check out what he's doing or what he has done at IMDb. It's under Jay Davis, prolific writer, comedian, producer extraordinaire. It's Jay Davis. And Jay, first off, I want to tell people out there the latest work that you did is the hit show on Amazon Prime that you can watch right now on Amazon Prime, Stepdads. Your thoughts on working on such a great comedy right there for you?
Oh man, it's something that everybody can enjoy. A lot of my stuff is over 18, so this is something that like a lot of kids can enjoy as well. So it's like a somewhat of a family show with a little bit of an edge to it.
Absolutely, and I got a chance to check out the couple episodes that are there right now, and it was really a good laugh, and I thank you for that because that's something we sorely need. Obviously, with the fight for racial justice going on that I've mentioned so many times on one of my other shows, the Laker Fast Break, that we've talked about at length because the Black Lives Matter movement is so important when it comes to the NBA, and then also from the standpoint as well as just the coronavirus, just basically putting everything in the entertainment industry for a time to a halt. And now you see what the mere mention or the mere drop of anybody getting a coronavirus on the set, just immediately the production shuts down. It absolutely shuts down. So how is that? How are you able to deal with it? How are you able to go ahead as an entertainer who wants to go ahead and provide communities out there, the audience, the world with your great work? How are you able to go ahead and survive and just basically be able to still be creative at this point in time?
Right. Well, we're actually about to shoot episode 3 of Stepdads the week that they shut down. So that like was a real like bummer. Real like everybody was upset about it. So I decided to start doing like an animated series.
Oh, cool.
And it's basically like, a cartoon series, like 3-minute episodes about true events that happened in my life. And so I've been doing that for the last couple of months just to keep things like, people laughing or whatever until we can shoot now. We're planning on shooting episode 3 of Stepdads November 7th and 8th. We took all kind of precautions to do it. We have like, before it was like a big birthday party scene. We had to scale that back. And it's just trying to be as safe as possible. So, I mean, I've been coming up with ways just to non-contact stuff. I shot a sketch where I told people to go out and shoot their scene. Like, it was like 3 people, I want to say 7 people in the scene. And I told them to go shoot their scene and send me the footage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's ways around it. It's just you got to be creative and innovative.
Absolutely, because you're now having to worry about, as we've talked about on our show before, the increased costs and the increased measures that you have to take with personal protection equipment, with also people on there just basically making sure you're following certain guidelines. And then, like you said, getting creative, having to rewrite, having to rediscover new ways to go ahead and approach comedy in this type of format. And before we go ahead and continue on that, can you give me a little bit more heads up on the animated stuff that you're doing? Because those shorts sound like it's really intriguing.
Oh, yeah, they're on my YouTube page. And I've sent it to a few streaming services or whatever, waiting to hear back from that. But it's called Reckless Enlightenment. And they're basically true, terrible stories that have a message at the end. I can give you an example of one. I was pulled over, this was many years ago, by the police. It's a random stop. They yanked me out of the car immediately, handcuffed me, and they started searching my car illegally. What they didn't know is that I had a bunch of props in my car from a previous shoot. And so I had a bunch of fake guns. And so they're pulling like fake guns out and confused. It was a police scene that we were shooting. So we had packed some sand in a bag and it looked like heroin.
Oh my gosh.
And so the police officer was like, bam. And I'm like, no, it's just heroin. It's just sand. Relax. And they were just going in my trunk, throwing stuff out, asking me what I did. And so we had a sexual harassment fake PSA that we did. And we needed a dildo for the scene.
Oh my gosh.
Out my car. So the cop grabbed it out of the car without looking. And then everybody started laughing. He looked and he was like disgusted. He slammed it and peeled off. And They did all that, and they didn't even realize I didn't even have a license on me, or I think my tags were expired too. But they just wanted to pull me over for some reason.
You
So
know, yeah. As I'm hearing more and more stories each and every time from friends that I have, or either people that come on the show or whatnot, this is still. I'm glad you're laughing it off.
yeah,
It's still a very serious issue.
it
Uh,
is.
one of my co-hosts on the Lakers Fast Break podcast, he got pulled over just for riding his bike.
Yeah,
Basically, happened a couple months ago, and I'm sure as he told me, he's still affected by it to this day.
right.
And it's still something that we need to go ahead and evaluate. But again, this I want to go ahead and the fight is there, and people, you know where to go, you know what to
Mhm.
look forward to, and you know how to help. It's
Mhm.
just go ahead and do that today. I please encourage you to do so we can go ahead and be more fair about these things. But getting back into what you do, I mean, this is something that's really affected us as far as all the things that are going on in 2020. I mean,
Mhm.
how are you able to go ahead and still find that creative itch out there for comedy? And what do you think comedy in and of itself will do for us, or can do for us in
Mhm.
this time of need? I mean, because right now I think we all need a good laugh.
Right. I mean, that's the thing that makes oh, sorry about that. Oh,
Oh,
can you
you're
see me?
good. Yeah, you're
Okay.
good.
That's the thing that makes comedians great. If you think of all the great comedians, they turn their pain into laughter for other people. And so you can go back to Richard Pryor, all his pain,
Oh,
he
yeah.
turned that into laughter. And just like we have that filter, that third eye to see something that's tragic and able to turn it into something that's like everybody like laugh at this. I went through this, but you can laugh at it. It's okay. And it lets people see the other side of different subjects and topics. And that's what it bothers me when people get offended by when comedians say certain things. I'm like, well, it's we're on a different playing field than other people.
Well, I'll tell you what, you have such a great spirit about you. I can tell you already, I can tell it already because you're dealing with these things in a way that you're just laughing off and you make others laugh around you. I mean, your career, like you said, you've got Reckless Enlightenment that you've already used as a TV series, and now you're incorporating that with your animated shorts that you got going on.
Right.
You have such your last decade was very prolific for you. I mean, not
Mhm.
another black movie, not another zombie movie, because
Yeah.
as just the thought of because everybody has seen so many films similar in the genre, it's funny when you can go ahead and poke at those type of films and say, you know what, I'm going to take a stab at it, but at a completely different slant.
Yes. Yeah. That was the goal. Like I got tired of seeing zombie movies and the same scenarios happening. I'm like, this is the same movie. It's just a different cast. It's all of them were the same movie at one point. So
It's just something that I think a lot of people need to go ahead and check out more of your work, because again, you've done such great things so far. And of course, as a comedian, you're going out there, you're going and showing off your wares whenever you get a chance to. How hard, as far as being a touring comedian been, as far as that's concerned, in the age of coronavirus? Because the number of clubs out there, just the life, it's been so reduced because of coronavirus as well.
mm. I mean, it's just basically just staying at home, being safe at this point.
Yeah.
You have to stay at home and just coming up with different methods of making people laugh,
Yeah.
and different ways to just be creative. Like you can be. I know people who do like live shows, like on StreamYard. They just do shows for free and take
Yeah.
donations or whatever. It's different ways to keep your brand out there and keep people entertained at the same time.
Well, I believe me, I just want to go ahead, and I have great appreciation for everything that you're doing out there. Stepdads, like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing episode 3 and beyond.
Mm.
The Jay Davis official YouTube page, I'm heading over there. What
Uh-huh.
will I find? What will I see? And why? What is, you got a lot of videos there.
Yeah.
I just turned it on for audience. So what, if you're going over there right now, what can you expect from the official Jay Davis YouTube page?
You're gonna see like the last couple. You're gonna see cartoons. Those are like the last 6 videos that I posted. All of the Reckless Enlightenment series. They're there for free. Check them out. They're all true stories. That's the fun. That's the unique thing about them. 100% true stories of stuff that I went through. Because every time I post one, someone's like, this can't be true. I'm like, yes, it is true. I just never could tell it in a live fashion. So I figured animated series be the best way.
Well, you know what? Again, you're doing such great work out there, and your goals, once we get back to a kind of normalcy, obviously getting Stepdads to where it needs to be as a major hit for Amazon Prime. But I know without giving away too much, what are your goals as far as to go ahead for this decade? You've done so much in the previous decade. I know you still have a lot of great plans coming up.
Well, to go right now, we're actually planning on moving to LA, getting an agent, and I want to be a showrunner. That's the ultimate goal. Have a series of shows under my name that I've created. That's the ultimate goal.
Because you have your own production company. I mean, if
Yeah.
people, they check out your work, it's right there for you. Right there. First thing you see is your logo. And how satisfying is that for you? I mean, to me, I thought that would be the one of the best things out there is to have your own production company with your name as a sense of pride. And you know what? This is my work and I'm glad to show it off.
Well, it is great. It is great. The great feeling, and it's like it just kind of hit me. Like we do screenings here at movie theaters, and it's just like the last one we did was last December, and I'm like, I don't know when that's gonna happen again, but because like to see your movie come on, your logo come across the screen, that's a great feeling. People excited, but it's just like when will we see that again?
I've talked to directors and producers and people behind the scenes such yourself. And when you see that work, as someone who worked very briefly in the 90s in the movie industry, when I saw that work going up each day in dailies and you see the kind of work you're doing day in, day out, and then you see the finished product on the scene, I get you. I understand that sense of satisfaction when you see people coming out from the movie theater and they have, that movie was really good, or that TV show, they send you the love via the reviews or any thing out there, the special messages that they got for you. How great of a feeling is that for you when people really love what you do?
It is great. It's great when people like the greatest feeling when people like say quotes from it. Like I say, whatever you do something special when you have quotables, whether it's in music or writing or movies. Whenever you have a quotable, something that somebody like, hey, you remember when you said this, or just spit a random quote out? That's the best feeling in the world. I mean, you were really whatever I did, you really enjoyed it, and you enjoyed it to the fact that you remembered it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you what, there's a lot to remember when people go ahead and check out the first 2 episodes of Stepdads, which is now available on Amazon Prime. Right there, Jay Davis, Charles Dunlap, and Ben Sloan, they do a great job on the show. Everybody involved. It looks like, like I said, from what I've seen so far in the 2 episodes, it looks like something that you could really stick with as far as a comedy is concerned. And it doesn't take itself too seriously. I think that's the part that I like best about it, because a lot of these comedies these days on the networks, they have a tendency to take themselves too seriously. They become, I think the word dramedy, I think it's overused and overplayed. I think just the fact that you want to go ahead and make people laugh, I think that's what works most for, I think that's what works best for Stepdads.
Yeah. And it's like you can't please everybody. Like comedy is very subjective, and everything that is people find different things funny. That's just what it is. That's what the world is. And so just don't take yourself too serious. Enjoy yourself.
Absolutely. Now, people can get a hold if they have any questions or they've got any feedback for you. If they got any great comments they want to go ahead. It looks like at J Davis TP on Twitter. Is that correct?
Yes, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook is J Davis TP, everything. Or you can just pick me up on my website, jdavisfilms.com.
jdavisfilms.com, J Davis TP, like you said, on social media. I bet Twitter is just a fun place to go for you every time.
I love Twitter. Yeah, Twitter is like whenever I want to like fact check stuff, like I see the memes by like different celebrities. I'm like, I got to see if they really said this.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Twitter can be a very cruel place, but it can be a very funny place to go. I can tell you as a fellow sports fan, and we were talking just before the show about our fantasy football teams, and I can tell you with the Lakers going all the way and getting the world championship, the fellow team in Los Angeles, the Clippers, and their ultimate demise, Twitter, it bordered on the mean, but my God, it was so much funny memes out there. It was just unbelievable. And you could see that as well whenever sports teams or whatever, like you said, actors or whatnot, I mean, social media, I mean, it's been a big boost for you, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, it helps. It cuts the marketing thing in half. Like it's a gift and a curse because now you see a lot of times people become famous because they have a lot of followers, but at the same time, it's like I need that because I don't have $1 million marketing budget.
Yeah, exactly. But that's how you can create one is by getting that following online, getting
Right.
that following on social media. And you're doing a great job there at J Davis TP, wherever you get your social media. But before we head on out, I want you to do the hard pitch for everybody out there on everything that you're doing and why they need to check out all the great work from your animated stuff to your comedy to whatever you're doing on Stepdads going forward and all the other projects. Where do they need to check out? Where do they need to start? And why do they need to check out all the great stuff that you're doing?
Okay. First, you can check out Stepdads on Amazon Prime right now. We have 2 episodes there. A third one will be up in a month or so. Check out my Reckless Enlightenment page on my YouTube channel. Just search J Davis TP. Funny comedy, funny animated series. It's a quick 3 minutes, 3-minute laugh before work. Thank me later. And we're also finishing up season 2 of a sketch comedy show, the Reckless Enlightenment sketch comedy. We're gonna have like 6 20-minute episodes of uncensored sketch comedy that everybody needs to see. We're gonna hopefully get that out before the end of the year, very latest the beginning of 2021.
Well, I'm looking forward to that, and I wish you continued success. Like moving to LA, I lived in SoCal for 25 years, so I know how the life can be hard in living in LA. But but if you make it, oh my gosh, everybody will be, well, I'm sure you've already had a taste or two as far as when you have something successful and how it pays off, and everybody wants to get to know you and all that stuff. So I'm sure you're already well prepared for that.
Yeah.
But
I know who my cousins are, so
yeah, there you go.
I don't know any new ones that's gonna pop up.
Right through the woodwork there. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine for you. Hopefully that won't happen. Hopefully you'll just continue to get great stuff out there, and of course all the great praise that you're deserving of. Jay, I wish you continued success. And again, please at J Davis TP, check him out everywhere. You go ahead and get on his social media, YouTube, whatever. Check out all the great stuff that he's doing, and of course his latest project, Stepdads, episode 3 is coming out in the not too distant future. The first 2 episodes are available now on Amazon Prime. And Jay, it's just been so incredible having you on the show. I hope to get you back on when you got more great stuff to go ahead and talk about on the show.
Hey, just let me know. I'm always willing to come on. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate it as well, and it's always great having you right here on the Pop Culture Cosmos.
Good luck on your team this week.
That's a different story altogether, my friend. That's a different story altogether.
All right.